The Puma Velocity Nitro running shoe has been one of the best daily trainers of the past few years. In 2024 we've got the third version of this very popular running shoe. But have the changes made the shoe better, or have the changes made the shoe worse? Well, in this video I'm going to tell you. What is up everybody, and welcome to Fordy Runs. My name is Chris Ford and I'm a running coach who likes to review running shoes here on YouTube. Okay, so before you ask, yes, I am wearing a jacket inside, and that is because Mrs. Ford won't put the heating on. So while I try and stay warm during this video, I'm also going to talk about these. The brand new Puma Velocity Nitro number 3. Now, I was a big fan of Velocity Nitro 2, mainly because you could get it so cheap last year. If you went over to Start Fitness, you could have got the shoe last year, towards the end of last year in particular, for like £50. And if you'd used my code, you'd have got it for under that. So I am excited to bring this shoe to you today because I think it is one of those daily trainers that can appeal to many runners. And in fact, Puma do state that this shoe is the best shoe for everyone. It's that entry into the Puma running shoe lineup. It brings the Nitro foam to the masses. So in this video we're going to talk about the things I've liked and things I've not liked since we've had the shoe. And I've had it for about a week now. And then I'm going to tell you if I still think it is one of the best daily trainers you can buy or not. Okay people, so before we do anything, I want you to go over to Strava and follow me on Strava if you're not already. Check out Chris Ford on Strava, and that way you can follow along and see the mileage that I'm doing, and you can just, well, keep an eye on what I'm up to really. And while you're at it, why not follow me on Instagram as well, at Fordy_runs. Okay, all the plugs done, let's get into the stats and features. Okay, so this shoe's about 130 odd pounds. I've not been given an exact price by Puma, they just sent the shoe through to me, and it arrived and without any specs or anything like that. So I don't have the exact price, but I think it's going to be about £130. The shoe will be available at our friends at Start Fitness, so make sure you use the code 40runs and you're going to get 10% off of these. And this new version has got 2mm more stack. We've got 2mm more foam. So we've got 36mm in the heel and 26mm down at the forefoot. We've got a 10mm drop. We've got 2 layers of foam in this shoe. We've got a top layer of Nitro foam, and then we've got like a traditional, let's call it EVO foam on the bottom. There's no plate or anything like that in this shoe. It's a traditional daily trainer. We've got an engineered mesh upper. We've got some strategically placed power tape, so like there on the medial side, which will support you on the upper, which is good. The tongue is gusseted. It fits true to size, but I've got some things we need to talk about in terms of the fitting. We've got Puma grip on this bad boy, which is great news for everybody because this stuff is a monster. It's weighing 294 grams, so about 10 something ounces in my UK 9.5. And I think that's about it in terms of stats and features. So okay, look, front end of the video, big red warning light to all of you. This shoe comes up very narrow. Now I have seen on Start Fitness website in the past, some of the Puma shoes have got a wide fitting available, but I don't know whether this shoe is going to come in a wide fitting or not. But if you've got a wide foot, I'd avoid the sort of normal version of this shoe because it does come up narrow. I really noticed it in my left foot, not my right foot. I don't know whether I've got a wider left foot, maybe I have. But when I put them on for the first time, I actually thought they were the wrong size. I checked to see they were a 9.5, but they were actually a 9.5. But I was like, well, really? They've got better the more I've done in them. But the left side, or the left shoe, is definitely sort of smaller feeling, and I think that's down to the width of the shoe. Now, just to give you an example of the differences, this is a Saucony Ride 17. Look at the width. And look at the width on that, on the Puma here. See the difference? So it's a narrow shoe. So be warned, people, be warned. Alright, so the stuff I've been doing in it is just a traditional week of marathon training, different variations of all sorts of stuff really. Different paces, easy stuff, a little bit quicker stuff. So it's gone through the sort of mill as you'd expect with a daily trainer, and it's held up pretty well. So let's dive into the things I've liked and things I've not liked. Then we're going to come on to who I think this shoe suits. So the things I've liked, well, I just love Puma grip. I just think this stuff is awesome. It really is. And the B-roll we showed you on this video was from the canal and tow paths. This stuff just eats that for fun. I like the stability. I think the dual foam setup works for a stable ride. There's no like movement in the heel or anything like that, despite the increased stack. I like the increased stack. I think actually 36mm works for this shoe. I think that increased stack height has actually helped the shoe, and it helps it perform a little bit better. Like, makes it a little bit more comfortable, but you get a little bit more Nitro foam, so the ride's a little bit more, well, propulsive. I like the breathability of the upper. In fact, I like the power tape. I just like the overall detailing of the shoe. I think it looks awesome. I like 130 pounds. I like 10.3 ounces. What else? And that's probably about it. Okay, so the things I don't like. I don't particularly care for the fit. I think that's a bit annoying. The fact that it comes up narrow. And the only other sort of annoying thing with it, and it's not really Puma Velocity Nitro's fault, is that it does kind of blend into those daily trainers that are all starting to feel the same. So there's nothing here that's sort of making it stand out versus the competition, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because it's a very good shoe, but there's nothing like that, and I go back to what I said originally, that sort of Nova Blast feeling what we got with the first Nova Blast. Now, look, that's a bit harsh because the Velocity is, you know, your bread and butter daily trainer, and you compare this to like a Nike Pegasus, this knocks it out of the park. But they're all starting to feel very similar, these daily trainers, okay? So there's nothing really that sets this apart versus like a Ride 17. They're both very, very good shoes and they'll suit different runners. That's why I'll come on to who I think this suits. But yeah, so it's not really like jumping out of the page at me, even though there's like nothing wrong here. Does that make any sense? So look, this is a good update. The 2mm more stack is a positive thing. The Puma grip on this thing is just immense. The upper's great, the price is great, the weight's great, all that sort of stuff. But it does lack that sort of secret sauce that all the daily trainers are lacking at the moment. But the bottom line is, this is a better version than the second version. So if you can buy this instead of the second one, even though the second one is really cheap, then I would recommend this. But you do have to remember, if you've got a wide foot, this won't work for you unless they do a wide version. Now, who do I think this will suit? I think this will suit a lot of people. I think this will suit people who have liked Velocity Nitro 2. I think this will suit people who have liked Puma shoes in general because they're amazing Puma shoes, to be honest with you. Great price point. Puma grip is awesome. They feel fantastic. They've got a cracking range at Puma in terms of running shoes. And I just think this blends well into any rotation. I think if you're doing couch to 5K, this is a great shoe. I think if you're learning or trying to get to 10K, this is a great shoe. I think this is a shoe that will, you know, help people do marathon training. You know, this is a great shoe as those to soak up some of those daily miles, which I've been doing all week. And even like I did a just under 7 mile run in the shoe. I picked the pace up a little bit, dropped it down to like nearly goal pace. The shoe was great, it really was. No problem at all with that run. So it just shows you the versatility of the shoe, and that's the great thing, and that's why I think it suits so many people. So if you are into Puma shoes, if you are looking for a daily trainer, then this is a shoe to look at. Do I, like I say, think this stands out versus the competition? No, but that's because all the daily trainers out there at the moment are so good. So this will very much come down to personal preference. I think obviously it comes down to price. But I think this will come down to personal preference. It is so much better than Nike Pegasus 40, but obviously we don't know what Nike Pegasus 41 is going to be like. But they have improved the shoe, they have made this better, they have made it even more versatile, and they have made it more appealing to more people, which is great, and that's fantastic from Puma. So keep up the good work, Puma, but I think this is a hard sell versus the other shoes out there because, well, they're all very the same thing that's going on really. They've got decent midsoles, good outsoles, well, some of them have, good uppers and all that kind of stuff. So yes, this is down to personal preference. Get down to your local running store, you know, go over to Start Fitness, try a pair of these, see what you think. Just be aware they do come up narrow, but yeah, the Velocity Nitro 3 is a great shoe. It's a great upgrade to version 2, but yeah, that's probably about it in terms of the Puma Velocity Nitro number 3.